Uns kommen nach Peru.
Macht euch bereit!
Voila!
I was wondering, what's shooting a movie with Paddington like? Does he take good care of you in between breaks with marmalade sandwiches?
Well, he does. I mean, we have to respect his privacy now that he's a big international star, not just a national treasure. And so he doesn't come out of his trailer too often. And we often hear the clink of glass, from inside, which is the marmalade jars. So we know when to leave him alone, when it's safe to address him, when to look him in the eye. And when we hear the thumps and bumps from inside the trailer, we just know to stay away. But when he does come out, he's quite gracious. He's quite generous. Sometimes turns up for his reverse shots. But it's really when he's on the set that the magic happens. And he's very generous with his time, considering his other commitments.
You can't behave badly in front of Paddington because the hard stare is a real thing.
Warum siehst du mich denn so an?
Das nennt sich durchbohrender Blick. Meine Tante hat das immer gemacht, wenn man seine Manieren vergessen hat.
7 years have gone by since part 2. How often did Paddington actually reach out to you, get into contact with you?
Well, the big difference came when Sam, who plays Jonathan, our son, because in the first movie he was 11, and by the time we'd finished the second one, he was that bit older. And then in between the two movies, he phoned and said, "Should we go down the pub?" And so that was quite weird to think that your little tiny son from the first film is now old enough to buy you a beer.
We'd usually sort of meet up every 6 months or so, just sort of a catch up to see how he's doing.
And so we met at the Winnie the Pooh Arms. Paddington refused to come in because obviously it was the competition. So we ended up in a strip club somewhere where bears did extraordinary things on poles. We went out for a night at the Peruvian embassy the other night actually, and he had one too many pisco sours. The ambassador had warned us that we should only have one. Paddington had 4. The next day wasn't pretty.
Was hat deine Tante so interessiert an Rumirock? Das wissen wir nicht, Mr. Hunter.
Rumirock ist nur ein Haufen alter Steine.
Ein Haufen alter Steine, der Legende nach. Der erste Ritt ist auf der Suche nach Eldorado. Was? Sie meinen... Gute Pommes.
So a great joy of these movies is like seeing Paddington do all these amazing stunts.
Marmelade!
What's it like working with someone who does all his own stunts? Like, is that an inspiration to you?
I do his stunts. No, actually, no, to be fair, he's known as the Tom Cruise of the Ursine community.
He's what Tom Cruise wants to be honest.
Yeah, he's braver than me. I tend to not do all my own stunts.
But one thing I haven't seen Tom Cruise do is eat marmalade. So, over to you, Tom.
No, we did do a lot of action stuff, though, didn't we? We all.
It was actually
it was a lot of action-packed scenes, and I think we all kind of threw ourselves into it as much as we physically could.
Running into a piano, I think about 15 to 20 times. So that was quite impressive.
Do you do your own stunts?
I did my own stunts, some time ago. I was crazy enough to just jump out of cliffs and things like that.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
no,
sometimes even just going around the insurance company that they wanted to kill me, literally. And but yeah, I've done things like that. Not anymore. I don't want to do things like that anymore.
I've never wanted to.
Madeline and Samuel, this movie is a lot about like leaving the family nest, sort of. So, and you're growing up. Like, is this maybe your last Paddington movie, or is there more to come?
I'd like to think it's not the last one. I'd like to think that Jonathan and Judy, as much as they are kind of flying the nest, that they'd stick around for some more adventures. I think, obviously Judy's going off to university and Jonathan is very much in his room. But, we still end up in Peru with Paddington, they still go. So I think, as much as they are ready to fly the nest, they definitely would join for some more adventures.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's sort of a start because we've all these characters have gone through certain arcs, and I think we're sort of really getting comfortable with them. And to be honest, I feel like I'm just getting started. I want to explore more. So yeah, we'll see.
Where would you take Paddington next after Peru?
A good little road trip around Europe, you reckon?
Yeah, road trip around Europe.
That'd be good.
Maybe
that'd
Africa. Go on a safari. Yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be
the
so
whole
fun.
world.
What movie would improve if Paddington replaced the main character?
I mean, that's almost every film, isn't it?
Well, I can't say the films that I'm thinking of because they're all thoroughly depressing, so that's not going to work.
The Terminator.
Scarface.
Gone with the Wind. Replacing Red Butler.
Red Butler, Paddington Bear. And that's a stroke of genius, Antonio, yes.
Thank you.
Have you heard of the film The Hunt, the Danish film with Mads Mikkelsen? That could be improved
Yes.
with Paddington. That would make things a lot happier. I don't know if you know the backstory.
Yeah, I think we need to have like really sad movies.
Yeah.
Or some horror, like a horror like slasher film.
Shining.
Like, The Shining,
No,
or
'cause he just make-
Scream, or something like that.
No, because he'd just make friends with them, and then that would be, it would be great, yeah.
That got dark so quick.
Täusche ich mich oder wird es gerade leicht wackelig?
Ich steuere offenbar das Boot! Aha. Willkommen in Peru.